Week 5 Thursday night football action between the Atlanta Falcons and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I got a 6-pick dynamic play that I did just lock myself that I did just send over to my VIP members that I'm going to be sharing with you guys here for free. Looking like there were a couple of changes already in the lines, but even with that being said, I would still go ahead and give you guys the green light on these plays. We'll talk about it. I got some really good value on the Bijan Robinson over receiving yards at 26.5, the Algier over 3.5. They have changed to 4.5 and 27.5. Still going to give you guys the green light, but unfortunately, these bumps do happen when you get really good value. Both lines were misrepresented, so I'm excited I got that value in, guys. Couple things before we get into it. You're going to need 2 apps to lock in these plays in this video. Specifically, the first one in this particular showdown slate, the Thursday night football action, the lines can be really tight on Prizepicks, so I do have a few plays that you can only get on Betr, guys. It will get you a $200 deposit match if you use my promo code KJKDFS or my link down below in the description in the comments. I'll pin the link for my deposit match in the top comment. There's going to be a bunch of different links, all of my sign-up bonuses, my VIP member package. If you're tuning in, you're like, this guy knows what he's talking about, I want access to all of his plays, you can hop into that after this video. Hopefully I win you enough money tonight so you can just afford to buy it with the free content that I provide. That's always the goal, right? And some of these plays will apply to Prizepicks. In this particular video, guys, though, it just so happens, we're getting better value over on Betr. Sometimes you're going to get better value on Prizepicks, though. It would be really smart to have both apps. I cover both on the channel. Once again, Prizepicks will hook you up with a nice deposit bonus of $50 when you play $5 instantly with my promo code and link. So let's talk about it. Let's get into the plays here. If we pull up the Prizepicks board first, this play, the first play, Tyler Algier, like I said, I had gotten that at 3.5. He's now up to 4.5 on Betr anyways. So, I mean, we're getting the same value on both apps now. I'm going to promote the play anyways because he is still favored on DraftKings to go over this particular line. So, even with the bump, still going to go ahead and do it here. And let's break it down. Tyler Algier, 4.5. First tool that I like to use when analyzing my props, guys, is going to be the Daily Grind Fantasy Optimizer. If you have not checked out this tool, would highly recommend you do so, and you can get a nice 25% off with my promo code KJKDFS, the link down below in the description. This is going to help pull in a bunch of different data for you to be able to identify the best possible props on the board, and Tyler Algier receiving yards is going to be one of his best props. Would like to reiterate, guys, I did get this at 3.5, which made it an even better prop for me, that 1 yard discount, but he is still favored on the over at 4.5 on DraftKings, all the way up to minus 130. Right, a 50.72% chance to hit the over here. That hit rate would have been a lot higher if it was still the 3.5 line when I got it. So just for full transparency, that sucks that you guys weren't able to lock that in at 3.5 with me, but hey, he's still favored on the over. It's free content. I'm trying to help you out as much as I can here. And if we do a little more analyzing of this prop with another tool that I like to use, guys, Outlier. Once again, fantastic to be analyzing props. They got all sorts of different data, and once again, a nice discount. As a matter of fact, free 7-day free trial with my link down below. I'll have all those links in the comment. Check out this bad boy, Tyler Algier receiving yards. You can see hitting this at a 60% hit rate. 6 of his last 10 games, and what's most appealing is going to be this matchup. We're actually going to be targeting both running backs for the Atlanta Falcons overs. You can see the Tampa Bay receiving yards defense this year. 31st, that's second worst in the entire NFL at giving up receiving yards to opposing running backs, giving up 60.8 receiving yards per game to opposing backs, which can kind of bring us right into our next play here, which is going to be the Bijan Robinson over receiving yards as well. Did get a nice discount on this. It did once again get bumped up on Betr. I had been able to capture this line at 26.5. He's at 29.5 on Prizepicks, guys. This is where things get like a little bit dicey. I would recommend taking it over on Betr. I got it to 26.5. He is still favored to go over at a higher line, so we can certainly talk about that. But the 29.5, we're getting a little bit too high for my liking, right? So let's go ahead and pop him in here to the Daily Grind Fantasy Optimizer. And we are going to see that Bijan Robinson's receiving yards prop on DraftKings, guys. This 29.5, you can see he's minus 130 on the over to go over this 28.5 mark. Just keep in mind that's at 28.5, right? He's at 26.5, minus 130 on the over on Pinnacle, 28.5, minus 130 on the over Caesar's at 28.5. So this is where like I'd really recommend you be locking this in on Betr. If you're new to this, you might not really understand like that couple yards difference can make all the difference, man. I mean, we're talking about a massive difference in hit rate in this prop. At the over 27.5, you're looking at a 52.04% chance that you're going to hit that prop. If you go over to Prizepicks at the 29, you're only going to hit it at a 50.48% chance of the time. So the optimizer is bringing all that data in for us. Kind of does a really good job of putting into perspective like the difference of your possibility of winning based upon the difference in the receiving yards and where the line's set. So this is where, you know, having the multiple apps can really pay off. So this is one where, hey man, if you take it on Prizepicks, I mean, technically they're saying the best prop you could take for Bijan on Prizepicks right now would be the under receptions with the 53.14 or the under rushing yards, so or the under rushing attempts. The receiving yards not looking quite as friendly over there as opposed to Betr, where it's at 27.5. Over it does look like his receptions might have actually just got removed at the time of recording this because they had been popping that a little bit. Take that 2-yard discount on Betr, right? This is where you can really get a big difference, and where I actually got an even better discount than that on Betr, right? Which they did just release their desktop version of this Betr. I'm bringing it up here. Still getting used to navigating this. It's like kind of a hybrid of their mobile and their desktop, right? So if I can bring this all in for you guys so you can hopefully see, I have a $250 to win $5,000 on this particular ticket. And we'll be talking about some more props here that you can only get on Betr as opposed to Prizepicks. A little bit of a side-by-side comparison here, guys. You're going to see a very similar concept as we go along here. The Kirk Cousins 15.5 fantasy points has been bumped down on Prizepicks to 15 even. Kirk Cousins, massive favorite to go under 1.5 passing touchdowns tonight. Not really the greatest matchup for him to be converting. This is all factored into the Vegas data. Prizepicks has really, really precise odds, guys, and Prizepicks can set those lines at even lines as opposed to Betr where we can get the 0.5 edge because there are no pushes on Betr. So I'm taking advantage of the 0.5 edge that I'm getting on Betr, and I'm locking in that under 15.5 fantasy points. Another thing with the 6-pick dynamic play on Betr is if you get 4 out of 6 correct, you're going to profit money. On Prizepicks, if you get 4 to 6 correct, you're actually going to lose a little bit. So there's a nice little bonus for you. You're going to get 20x your money if you get 6 correct, 5 correct, you're going to get 1.25x, 4 correct, you're going to get 265.50. Next play, Chris Godwin, over 14.5 fantasy points. As you can see on the right side, he's at a 15 even line. Why is that? Prizepicks saying essentially he's expected to go over 14.5 and under 15.5, so we're just going to set that right in the middle. Okay, that's going to happen all the time on Prizepicks. Betr, they can't do it. I've got him going over this by a pretty sizable margin. I'll take that extra edge. K-Dot, same thing, man. 7.5 fantasy points. On Prizepicks, he's down to 7. Why is that? Because they're saying it's more than likely he's going to go under 7.5. So rather than setting it there, we're going to put it down to 7 even, right at 7. Bucky Irving, you're going to see a similar concept here, right? Of where he is at 9.5 rushing attempts on Betr, but on Prizepicks, he's at 10 even, which is actually like really insane value. If I go ahead and pull up the Daily Grind Fantasy Optimizer here, once again for you guys, and we put in Bucky Irving, you're going to see this is one of the best possible props you could be taking, and some really solid value here on Bucky Irving. You can see we're expecting this to hit at a 55.97% hit rate. That bright green on the Daily Grind Fantasy Optimizer means you're getting a really, really good prop. Why is that? Because he's set at 9.5 in markets. He's set at 10.5 markets, and he's favored on the over. Minus 131 on the over 9.5 rushing attempts on BetOnline, which is a sharp book. He's all the way up to 10.5 on Bovada, BetMGM, and Caesar. So essentially they're saying he's going to end with 10 rushing attempts even, which happens all the time when they set these lines, right? They're very precise, so they're saying he's going to stay under 10.5 and go over 9.5. If you're able to get the 9.5, the value is going to be on the over. If you're able to get the 10.5, the value is most likely going to be on the under. We're locking this bad boy in at 9.5. Can't get that value on Prizepicks, right? So hopefully that all makes sense. Kind of a quick, straight to the point explanation there as to what all went into the process of logging in this ticket, but really having multiple apps can seriously pay off for you. So that's precisely what I did here on this ticket. All of these different props are going to be bumped up on Prizepicks. You can't get them over there, but on Betr you're getting that better value. So that's where having these multiple apps is going to pay off, right? So I got 250 to win 5,000. Once again, it's a 6-pick dynamic play entry. 6 out of 6 is going to get you 5,000 if you put in 250. 5 corrects going to get you 1.25x, so you're going to get 312.50 back. 4 corrects going to get you 1.05x, so you're going to profit a little bit of money, nothing crazy. But hey, you're not losing money, right? If you were to head on over to Prizepicks, first of all, if you were to run the same exact ticket, you're getting a payout shift. They're actually only going to pay you 21x compared to the 25x they're supposed to pay you. And second of all, it's not as good of value. So it really doesn't make much sense to be locking these plays in on Prizepicks on this particular slate, right? Sometimes there's going to be better value over on Prizepicks than Betr picks, etc. Just kind of how these apps work. So quick little review here. But I did a little breakdown with the tools. You can see clearly the different value that I'm getting here. The Kirk Cousins under 15.5. Once again, you can't get that value on Prizepicks, right? You set to 15 even. We got the Chris Godwin over 14.5 fantasy points. He set it to 15. Kate Otton's on the same squad for Tampa Bay, so sometimes taking an over on a particular guy and an under on a particular guy in the same offense can be beneficial, right? The ball's going to Godwin. He's getting all the action. Kate Otton can't catch the ball. There's only, one ball and so many receivers. You get the point. Hopefully Godwin gets a nice touchdown early. A lot of targets. They get up in the game. Kind of the Atlanta offense kind of struggles, and then the Tampa Bay offense is up, and they're able to run the ball with Bucky Irving, go over that 9.5 rushing attempts. And then in the effort to try to complete the comeback for the Atlanta Falcons, right, those check down passes to those running backs, they should be able to go over their receiving yards. All of these props kind of have some good value. Ideal game script would be, like I said, we want these Buccaneers to kind of get up early, particularly through Chris Godwin. Then they can try to run the ball, they try to run the clock out with those rushing attempts, and then hopefully we get some check down passes to those two running backs who, as we discussed, are in a really good matchup here tonight with this Tampa Bay squad just giving up a ton of receiving yards to opposing running backs. So the 31st overall, for Tyler Algier, obviously that same matchup is going to apply to Bijan Robinson, who's also a tailback for the Atlanta Falcons, right? So just a lot of really good things here for these props tonight, kind of why I'm going with them, right? We got the over 28.5, over 27.5, over 26.5 is where I captured. If we go to these data sets, you can see he's exceeded 28.5 receiving yards in 5 of his last 6 games at home, averaging 41 receiving yards per game with an 83% hit rate. And that same matchup against this Bucs defense that's really struggled versus running backs, right, should treat us well with these two props for these Atlanta Falcons running backs. So that's going to be my full 6-pick dynamic play. Once again, I got it over on Betr picks. We are getting better value on Betr picks, so I would highly recommend that you lock this in on Betr picks. If you're not going to listen to me, you're just going to take the bumps on Prizepicks. I can't control it. I tried to help you out, give you a little advice as to the different discounts, the different value that you can get on Betr. And you see, man, I mean, it's just, that's why I kind of like this side by side. You can see in real time, like the difference in the lines. You can see how I'm getting much better value on Betr, right? So, yeah, man, that's going to be the full 6-pick dynamic play here tonight. I'm running over on Betr that I share with you guys here for free. Hopefully you enjoyed the content. If you did, it would be greatly appreciated if you hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell before you head out the door. The Algier prop's the same on both, but other than that, guys, you're getting a lot better value over on Betr picks. So if you play the bumps on Prizepicks, like I said, I tried to help you out. Just keep in mind it's not quite as good value if you get hooked. If Bijan ends up with, 28 receiving yards, don't be mad at me that you played it at 29.5, right? Thanks for tuning in. Wishing you all the best of luck on your Prizepicks, your Betr picks, NFL player props tonight for this Thursday night football action. We will see you in the next one.